President Trump and his defense secretary are making conflicting statements on North Korea's nuclear threat. Today, the North vowed to launch more missiles just days after its latest test firing. David Martin has more on that.
Kim Jong-un rose before dawn to oversee preparations for the launch. An intermediate-range missile that for the first time overflew Japan and landed in the Pacific 1,700 miles away. He seemed more than a little pleased with the result, which the North Korean news agency said was a drill for an attack that would shut down the American airbase on Guam. President Trump, who just last week said Kim was starting to show a little respect for the U.S., responded angrily. "Talking is not the answer," he tweeted this morning, seeming to rule out the possibility that negotiations could end the building crisis with North Korea. But just a few hours later, the Secretary of Defense, meeting with his South Korean counterpart, sounded less belligerent.
We're never out of diplomatic solutions. We continue to work together, and the minister and I share a responsibility to provide for the protection of our nations, our populations, and our interests.
That protection depends in part on ballistic missile defenses that could shoot down incoming North Korean missiles. Last night, in a long-scheduled test, the Navy fired this interceptor, which succeeded in shooting down a medium-range missile similar to this one being developed by North Korea. But it's not all defense. Late today, B-1 bombers were scheduled to take off from Guam and join up with Korean and Japanese fighters to conduct training at a bombing range in South Korea. Flights by long-range bombers have become a standard response to North Korean missile tests, but they don't seem to be having any success in convincing Kim Jong-un to back off. So the Pentagon is now considering the use of cyber attacks that would do real damage to North Korea. Anthony?
David Martin at the Pentagon. Thank you, David.